about to die from every serial killer.
John Wayne Gacy. Imagine that you're a 15-year-old runaway, homeless and desperate for work. A man in his 30s pulls up in his car and introduces himself as John. He's friendly,
Fuck no. Fuck no.
well-dressed,
He just
and owns
pulls
his own
up,
construction
clown
business.
costume.
He offers you a job,
Immediately takes
$10
off.
an hour, cash, no questions asked. He says you can start tomorrow if you come to his house tonight to discuss details.
Not if you
You're
look like
desperate,
that.
exhausted, and
Nah, not
hungry.
at all.
You accept. His house is normal, suburban, and unremarkable. Inside, John offers you a beer and starts explaining the construction work. He's personable, jokes around, tells you about his community service work. Then he suggests showing you a magic trick. He pulls out a pair of handcuffs and asks if you can escape from them. It seems
Hell no. Immediately decline.
weird, but harmless. You let him put the handcuffs on your wrists behind your back.
Oh, you're
The click of the
fucked.
cuffs locking is the last normal sound you hear. John's entire demeanor changes in an instant. The friendly contractor vanishes. He
Yeah, you're
forces you
fucked.
to the floor and ties your ankles. You're screaming, but there's no one to hear you. His neighbors are too far away, and he's soundproofed the room.
Yeah,
He
you're
places
fucked.
a rope around your neck, tied in a specific knot. Then he starts twisting it with a stick like a tourniquet, slowly cutting off your air supply.
Ooh,
You
shit.
can't breathe, and this torture continues for hours. But then finally, he
Hours
tightens
it
it
is.
one last time and doesn't stop. Your last conscious thought is terror. Your body will be buried in the crawl space beneath his house, along with 28 others.
Buried.
John Wayne Gacy was arrested in December 1978 after the bodies of 4 late victims were found in the Des Plaines River. Police discovered 29 bodies buried.
What the fuck? I gotta look. I didn't know he did all this shit. I didn't know he was a serial killer in a clown costume. I didn't know he's burying shit under the building.
beneath his house.
Under his
trial
house
began
at that.
in 1980. He pleaded innocent by reason of insanity. However, the jury convicted him of all 33, and he received the penalty. After all his appeals were denied, he was executed by lethal injection on May 10th, 1994. The Zodiac. You're sitting on a bench at Lake Berryessa in
The
Napa
fuck?
County, California, enjoying a peaceful picnic with your girlfriend on a warm afternoon in 1969. The sun is shining, the water is calm, and you're completely relaxed. But suddenly, your girlfriend grabs your arm and points toward the trees. She tells you that she thinks she saw somebody watching you guys in the woods, and before you can even react, a 6-foot-tall, 250-pound psycho approaches you out of nowhere.
Take off. Take off.
He's wearing nothing but dark clothes, sunglasses, and a straight-up executioner hoodie with a Zodiac sign at the bottom of it.
Take
The hooded
off.
man draws a gun and slowly approaches you. Instinctively,
shit.
you position yourself between him and your girlfriend. But to your absolute surprise, he starts to reason with you. He says that he's an escaped convict from Montana, and that all he needs is your car and money to get to Mexico. Even though you don't really have a choice, you tell him you'll cooperate. He orders both of you to lie face down on the ground. Then he tells your girlfriend to tie you up first. Afterward, he then ties her up in the same way. Without as much as even a second passing, the criminal tears her to shreds right in front of you with a 12-inch carving knife. You scream in horror as you try to break free from your restraints to save her, but your attempt to try to free yourself and charge at him quickly transforms into trying to escape him. Once you realize he turns his attention towards you, A plunges his weapon into your lower back, then your upper back, then above your ribs, and he doesn't stop. Eventually, as you lie on the ground gasping for air, you watch as the man leaves a note on the side of your car. It'd have a Zodiac sign on it, with the dates
By knife when he did it. What the fuck?
of 3 recent and the words, "by knife," written besides them. This is what happened to Brian Hartnell and his girlfriend Cecilia Ann Shepard. Luckily enough, Brian would survive the encounter, but his girlfriend sadly would pass. Brian would describe the criminal to police officers, but the Zodiac would never be caught, and he'd go on to claim
And they don't find this nigga.
anywhere from 5 to 37 more victims, leaving behind cryptic notes like this. I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than wild game in the forest, because man is looking for police officers, but there's more victims, leaving behind cryptic notes like this. I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than wild game in the forest, because man is the most dangerous animal of all. The Butcher. Imagine you're a year-old
What
waiting
the
at a
fuck?
rural train station in Rostov, Soviet Union in 1984. A middle-aged man in glasses approaches you, soft-spoken and grandfatherly. He says he knows a shortcut through the woods to the next town and
We'll fucking wait for that next train. Most definitely. We'll wait for that next train.
offers to show you the way. You're running late and he seems harmless, so you follow him. The forest path gets darker and colder, and you begin to feel uneasy when suddenly he grabs you from behind. His strength is pretty shocking for his mild appearance. Suddenly, throws you to the ground and starts slashing with a knife he pulled from his coat. The attack is nothing short of animalistic. The butcher stabs your hands, chest, mouth, skull, eyes, and face.
Oh, that is
You
horrifying.
try to
No,
scream,
real
but
shit.
pain cuts your voice short, leaving only faint, rattling breaths. The attack
Mind you, he's probably doing this shit just for the sport.
lasts only minutes, but feels like hours. As you're losing consciousness from blood loss, you see him doing something unspeakable with the knife to your body. Your last sensation is the indescribable horror of understanding what's happening, but being too weak to stop it.
Chop this meat off.
Andrei Chikatilo
Chop
met
this
at least
meat
50
off.
people between 1978
Weird
and
ass
1990.
motherfucker.
He was eventually identified as the chief suspect of his heinous crimes and arrested. While in court, he was kept in a cage because of his erratic behavior. On one occasion, he pulled down his pants and in front of the court. He was
What the
executed in a
fuck?
Moscow prison in
Oh,
1994.
he's lost in it.
Jeffrey
though.
Dahmer.
Yeah, we already know
Now
about him.
imagine you're at a bar in Milwaukee on a Saturday night when a blonde man in his late 20s approaches you. He's charming, good-looking, and well-spoken. He introduces himself as Jeff and offers to buy you a drink. He mentions he's a photographer and asks if you'd be interested in making some quick cash by posing for photos at his apartment.
What do you mean by that?
He offers you $50. You're broke, and he seems harmless enough, so you agree. His apartment is at 924 North 25th Street. It's neat and surprisingly clean. He offers you another drink, a strong rum and coke. You take a few sips, and within minutes, you start feeling dizzy and disoriented. Your
More than rum and coke now.
vision blurs. You try to stand up, but your legs won't work. The room spins. Jeff is still talking, but his voice sounds distant and distorted. You collapse onto the couch. Then you wake up hours later. But something is wrong. You can't move your arm. You're handcuffed to something. Your head is pounding and your mouth tastes like chemicals. Jeff is standing over you now, and his demeanor has completely changed.
Oh, yeah.
The friendly photographer is gone. What remains is cold, empty, and calculated. He doesn't yell or threaten. He just tells you calmly what's going to happen. He's going to strangle you until you pass out. And then his freaky ass is going to take advantage of your unconscious body.
Yeah.
If you wake up, he'll do it again. But eventually, you'll stop
That shit
waking
is
up.
crazy.
Your
Word.
last conscious thoughts are of panic and confusion as his hands
Imagine
wrap around your
just
throat
dead.
and the world goes
You
dark
just wait,
for
and
the
then you
final
just wait.
time.
He's just gonna wake up and
In
you're
the same
dead.
manner, Jeffrey Dahmer murdered 17 young men and boys between 1978 and
Disgusting
1991.
motherfucker.
He was arrested in July 1991 after one victim escaped. Harold Shipman. Imagine you're living your bonus years alone in Hyde, Greater Manchester. You've been
Okay.
feeling tired lately and short of breath. You call your family doctor, Dr. Harold Shipman, a respected general practitioner who's been practicing in the area for over 20 years. He makes house calls, which is rare these days, and he's always been so kind and attentive. He arrives at your home within an hour, black medical bag in hand. He takes your blood pressure, listens to your heart, and asks about your symptoms. He tells you it's likely just a circulation issue, nothing to worry about, but he'd like to give you an injection that will help.
The
You
fuck?
trust him completely. He's your doctor. He prepares a syringe from his bag. You barely feel the needle go into your arm. Within seconds, a warm sensation spreads through your body. You feel relaxed, peaceful, almost euphoric. Dr. Shipman is asking you questions, but his voice is getting farther away. You're so tired suddenly. Your eyelids are impossibly heavy. You try to respond, but the words won't come. Your breathing slows, your vision narrows to a pinpoint of light, then disappears entirely. You die in your armchair, peacefully,
She
never
died
knowing your
peacefully.
trusted doctor just you with a lethal injection of diamorphine. Harold Shipman was
fuck is that
convicted of
shit?
killing 15 patients in 2000, but investigators believe he killed between 215 and 250 people over his career. On
Ooh!
January 13th,
Hold on, let me look up dimorphine. That sounds like a lethal drug. don't even know how to spell dimorphine. There it goes. Heroin. Holy shit. He just slowly killing this nigga off excessive amounts of heroin.
2004, he himself in his cell at Wakefield Prison.
Ooh, the boogeyman.
In 1870, a man named Albert Fish suffered horrific as a child at an orphanage, where he was regularly beaten and as a result,
Alright, well, I
he
gotta be a
exhibited troubling
Piccadilly up there.
behaviors that would escalate over the years of his life. Fish would lure with promises of work, candy, or both. And in 1928, while pretending to be a wealthy man visiting a family's house to hire their son for work, Albert would convince the parents of named Grace to let him take her to a birthday party. He didn't spontaneously do this, however. He was only able to take them after building trust and warmth with the family. And as you could guess, there was no party. He took her to an abandoned house, strangled her, dismembered her body, cooked her, and ate her.
You cooked and ate? What? You cooked and ate, shawty?
6 years later, Albert would send the family a letter saying this. On Sunday, June 3rd, 1928, I called on you and brought you pot cheese with strawberries. We had lunch. Then Grace sat in my lap
Oh my
and gave me a
goodness.
kiss on my cheek. It was at this point that I made up my mind to eat her. The rest of the letter is disgusting, repulsive, and detailed. After reading it, Grace's traumatized parents were able to use it as evidence for officials to track and capture Albert. And after he was arrested, medical examinations revealed that Albert had inserted over 29 needles into his pelvic region and area. X-rays showed them embedded deep in his body, many having been there for years. He had hammered them into himself as punishment and as
What the what did I just hear? This last nigga is just crazy. I mean, I know all of these dudes are crazy, but this last thing is just like, what?
a twisted form of gratification. Sadly, Grace's fate would be the same of over 1 to 400 other that Albert Fish did this to.
100 in total?
By the electric chair in 1936 at 65 years old. He wrote a final statement, but the only person who was able to ever read it was his lawyer, and he refused to release it to the public because he considered it the filthiest thing
That shit is probably grotesque.
he had ever read in his life. Majority of people in real life are actually pretty normal, but nonetheless, bad apples still do exist.
The
So always
1%
make
of the
sure
world
that you're
is
not
the
out at night
1%
too
of the
late
people
without
in
your
this
friends or
world are
family.
crazy.
And also, always let your loved ones know where you are at all times. Oh yeah,
Right.
and most importantly, carry protection.
Because
Hit the gym.
then you have
invest in
this.
some pepper spray, a taser, or if you're licensed and old enough, maybe some concealed carry.
you're gonna need Gen 5. Let me just tell you that now. You need Gen 5 at all times. Real talk, man. If y'all, hey, y'all stay safe out there.